Welcome to the Editor's Note Comics Podcast.
I think that this world, it needs men that are willing to make the hard call.
Central Maine's best comics podcast, by default.
Ain't no thing like me, except me.
Here are your hosts, Zach and Jared.
The maps come with me. No. When do we start?
Welcome back to the show. Tonight, breaking, unbelievable, unprecedented. You can't say a word. I am breaking the story.
I'm angry. I wasn't going to bring it up, but boy, I'm pissed.
So tonight in the news segment, Zach is going to share a story that has upset him so much. He is so angry and so incensed. He's drinking Coors Light.
Incest?
Incensed.
I'm not. There's no incest.
No,
but
But you probably feel like you're doing incest by drinking Coors Light. Given how much you've decried Coors Light over the years, how much you've shown that you hate Coors Light.
There was a free drink, and I am.
It wasn't free. It was my drink. It was on the counter. You reached out in anger and stole it from me.
I am mad about a story tonight.
I mean, I get that. I understand that. But
I hope it's not real. I hope it's fake. I hope it's fake. Don't do it. Don't do it. So I guess we just have to get right into the news.
Well, no, I was going to ask you how you were, but I think it's pretty evident.
I'm fine. I'm just.
Are you? Are you really?
I don't want to have something beloved defiled.
That's fair enough.
All right, we're doing the news now.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
It's time for the news.
Yeah, so put your phone down.
I'm like the paparazzi. I'm just waiting for you to grab that can of Coors Light so I can get a picture of it and then tweet about it.
Just see me frowning. So this week, bad news that got worse. The Star Trek Discovery showrunners were fired, apparently for just having a bad working environment, like real aggressive and abusive kind of people. Not like, in this Me Too world that we're in right now, it wasn't a sex thing. It was they're just bad guys.
Just a hostile work environment?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I get that. I understand that.
Do you?
Oh, do I ever?
You say that. I don't think
I mean, not to the level that you experience, but I've
by myself, I'm like, my boss is an asshole.
Yeah. And the CEO of your company. Pretty much everyone you work with sucks.
The worst.
Except for that one girl who watches the store. And those two older people. They're really nice too. Anyway, so the showrunners, now this place sucks, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, so Star Trek Discovery, the showrunners were canned. Alex Kurtzman is taking over Star Trek Discovery as a showrunner. Apparently the first 5 issues, aside from having a bad working environment, short season, but the first 5 issues went like grossly over budget. So
Issues or episodes?
Sorry. You're right.
I am. Sound guy? Thank you.
The first 5 episodes of the season are apparently like insanely over budget, so I guess the latter half of the season will just be really boring to watch of them trying to not be over budget.
Oh, speaking of sound guy, not to take away from the conversation, did you ever find out what the clip he sent me was?
No.
Oh, it's great. I'm so happy to have it. I know it's been like a month since he sent it to me, but I listen to it like once a week. It keeps me motivated.
Weird.
I'm just waiting for the right time to unleash it to the masses.
So, as Alex Kurtzman, guy who shouldn't be involved in anything, is now, put your phone away. I'm taking my hand away from the terrible beer.
Just once for me.
This isn't about you. This is about this story.
No, it's about me. A little bit.
So, Alex Kurtzman taking over Star Trek Discovery, but also, apparently, the potential for spitting out other series has been brought up, including a next generation sequel series starring Patrick Stewart. Helmed by...
About Locutus.
I'd love it to be about Locutus. That's what the series I want. I don't want it to be about Picard. I want it to be about Locutus.
Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the USS Enterprise.
I want it to be all about that English Frenchman. That never made sense.
No. It's the future, okay? It's Gene Roddenberry's future. There are no borders. Who knows? Maybe France overtook England in the future.
Kurtzman isn't the guy to do any, he wrote 2 of the Star Trek, or he co-wrote 2 of the Star Trek movies, but he's not the guy to helm a show. He's not the guy to do a Next Generation sequel. We've had a Next Generation sequel. We had 4 of them.
Yeah, but you liked the Star Trek movies he made.
I liked one of them. One of them I forgive more than most people.
I mean, he wasn't. What else was he in? He was involved in Alias, so he has a J.J. Abrams connection with the Star Trek movies. Alias.
He has the J.J. Abrams connection. But we had Picard for 17 years. We had a good arc. Picard's story's never going to have a satisfying ending. I mean, the captain's... I'm not a fan of the Deep Space Nine ending.
No?
No, it's weird, like, where he goes into the wormhole and then he's, like, ethereal and all that crap. It's, yeah. But, I mean...
But the founders chose him.
Yeah, I don't like it. But the captains that we see, the captains don't get an ending. We even see that with Kirk in Generations. He's like, never leave the ship. Like, once you move on, then your story's done.
Janeway becomes an admiral, lives on Earth. She's happy.
I guess, yeah, Janeway's fine because she got stranded for 7 years, so she's fine.
They weren't technically stranded. They were just lost.
Really out there.
They were a little bit from home, yes.
With an infinite number of shuttles that kept blowing up.
I never really got into Voyager. I didn't really watch a lot of it.
Voyager's good. I like Voyager. But I mean, Kirk's whole
Yeah,
thing...
but it's still probably number 3 behind Next Generation and DS9.
I'll put original series above it.
So it's number 4?
Yes.
Wow.
It's not terrible.
No, I mean, they're all right there neck and neck.
It's
better than Enterprise.
Show. Yeah, show I didn't watch much of. They're like, we got Brent Spiner back. I'm like, all right, I'll watch that.
But you're kind of getting upset about him taking over a show that you've seen exactly 1 episode of.
2.
That you've seen exactly 2 episodes of.
It's not the Discovery thing. I would like to watch Discovery.
You just don't want to see, you don't want Picard.
You
don't want new Picard.
That story can't be expanded on. Picard doesn't have a happy ending. He doesn't have...
Let's rephrase. It's not that he doesn't have a happy ending. He just doesn't have an ending that we need to know about.
He doesn't have a ride off in the sunset kind of ending. Picard isn't that guy. The book that we covered, we did it on the show, of the canonical continuation of Next Generation, where Picard becomes an ambassador. That makes 100% sense. Picard becomes an ambassador to Vulcan. Fantastic. Makes a lot of sense for that.
That's very logical, in fact.
Yeah. I don't need the continuing adventures of Picard. I don't care about the continuing adventures of Picard. I mean, part of that, it's not his show entirely. It's his certainly focus towards him, but I love that cast. And if Riker's gone, and
well, he's on the Titan with Deanna Troi.
If Troy's gone, and if
you need to bring back Worf
goes off to the Klingon Empire, we learned that. And I don't care about seeing like Picard and Geordi, and that's about it. I don't really care.
Yeah, I guess it would depend on what the premise is. What if the premise?
There has been a long rumored Captain Worf show. I'd watch that. I'd be all about that show. But I don't want more Picard.
What if? Okay, let me see if I can spin this for you. What if it were this? What if it were Picard as the superintendent of Starfleet Academy? And the show is kind of like a West Wing of Star Trek. It kind of it follows him administratively around Starfleet Academy. We get a look into Starfleet Academy and
You're pitching me the last season of Scrubs, which is terrible. So no. If anyone's seen the last season of Scrubs, all 3 of you that saw it, you'll know what I'm talking about.
But I think you could flesh it out. I might get interested in that. You get some young, raw people getting into the academy, and you can just kind of follow them through the academy. And Picard can occasionally go out to space, but he becomes like Mr. Feeney.
I mean, I still have a fantasy world of, like, I would love to see more Next Generation. I'd love to see that cast back. But at the same time, I also know it's for the best that I don't have that. Sometimes it's better to want than to receive.
I'm going to say yes and no to that. Yeah, would I like more Next Generation? Sure. But I felt like they told all the stories they needed to tell, and I thought the finale was satisfying. It was perfect.
Which finale?
For Next Generation.
I know. Which one?
What do you mean,
Nemesis or the series?
The series finale.
I like Nemesis.
Nemesis is not a bad movie. I like Nemesis. I love it a hell of a lot more than Insurrection.
I think it's poorly shot, but it's a good movie.
Insurrection is that's hard to watch.
I remember when Insurrection came out on home video, because I had that on VHS. It was sent to me as a gift. That came out during like No TV Week. And I was like, no! I want to watch Star Trek again, because it's not in theaters, obviously.
Yeah. About midway through the week, you were like, I want to go back to No TV Week.
That was also when the Merlin...
Oh, the miniseries?
Yeah,
Yeah, with Sam Neill as...
Yeah. That was No TV Week. And it was...
Bad week to have no TV.
I know! I wanted to watch Merlin.
Did you VHS it?
I did. On SLP.
So you could get the slow long play.
Yeah. I guess there's that. We spent way too long on that story.
All right, what else we have?
I'm so upset about it. I don't want more. I just want Next Generation to be... It's already been tarnished. There were 2 bad movies in there, and one, again, poorly shot one.
Make Next Generation great again. You know what?
Right.
I've got a great title for the show. Are you ready for the Picard show? Star Trek Space Force. Yeah? Oh, carry on.
Other news that doesn't destroy me. John Berthel.
Who?
Whatever,
Yeah.
though.
Okay. Whatever.
He is going to be returning to The Walking Dead. He played Shane on the first season.
How is that still on? How is that still a thing?
It gets some of the best numbers on television.
Have they not told all the Walking Dead story yet?
I don't care for it personally. I haven't watched it in years. It's too much of a downer. Like, oh boy, I'm so sad that, we're all depressed.
Yeah. Who is going to die next? Which rogue band of people are they going to come across for group survival who has a megalomaniac leader who's going to kill everyone anyway?
But yeah, John Berthal, who played Shane, he is returning. He's already returned. He came back as a zombie, and they killed him. They've literally killed this character twice. That's also comic accurate. I am not up to date on the Walking Dead comics, but I've read at least that much.
Okay, guy who has sex with Rick's wife died multiple times.
Yeah, they killed him once and then killed him as a zombie.
And Rick died a little bit inside.
Well, he got his hand cut off.
That sucks to be Rick. Lose your hand. Your wife sleeps with some guy.
That's too expensive for television.
Yeah.
To green screen that every shot he's in. So, But yeah, John Berthal's coming back. He's the Punisher. I like him. But when I read that, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess we'll have a flashback or a hallucination. And it's going to be funny that he looks 9 years older. Yeah. So
And then a post-apocalyptic,
no, keep trying with words.
living in a post-apocalyptic zombie world. It's got to age you real quick.
He's dead.
He told you it aged him to death.
Look, he's a healthy man. He's a good-looking guy, but
Apparently not if he's dead.
He's still gonna look 9 years older. Other news: Chris Wood will not be returning to Supergirl as Mon-El. I like him. I haven't finished this season.
Mon-El, like monorail?
Monorail. No, not that.
Are you going to go to Shelbyville? There's no monorail here.
Ogdenville. I put them on the map. Yeah, that's Conan wrote that episode. That's a great episode.
Probably one of the top 5 episodes.
Conan, I mean, he was part of the writers' room, but I think he only has 3 episodes credited to his name, and that's one of them.
Yeah, that also had
He had a Halloween's one.
Why can't I think of the guy's name who
Leonard Nimoy's in that.
Yes, he is in that, but
I don't know what else you're looking for.
No, the monorail salesman guy on SNL.
Phil Hartman.
Yes,
Phil Hartman does that
him.
one along
Yes.
with Lionel Hutz and that other role he played, movie star. What's his name?
Trent.
I'm Troy McClure.
Troy McClure.
You might remember me from such films as.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, that's also Phil Hartman before his wife shot him in the face
Yeah. Well.
in his sleep. So positive story. Hey, you know about that Star Trek potential reboot?
See, it's not that bad now, is it?
Yeah.
Other weird things that Springfield got: the matchstick skyscraper and the escalator to nowhere.
I called the big one Bitey. What a good episode.
Yeah. And now I kind of need to watch that.
We should do a Simpsons episode. I don't have
Absolutely.
that where we just quote the Simpsons for an hour. Speaking of The Walking Dead, Robert Kirkman, his series Invincible, which is pretty fantastic, is getting an animated series on Amazon. It's, what if Superman was in the real world kind of deal. It's good. It's a really good series. It went for 100-something issues. Put your phone away. That's my catchphrase. But I'm all about, getting Robert Kirkman back on a thing. Or Invincible, really. It's a good series. So, yeah. Do it on the Amazons. I signed into Amazon Prime a couple days ago. I was shocked to learn how many things I want to watch on Amazon Prime.
A lot.
I was like, my God. They're like, recommended for you. I'm like, you're so right. You're so right.
It knows you.
It does.
It knows you so well.
Amazon knows me. I got to show you some photos, so I guess we'll skip the photos for a little bit. George Lucas this week came out with his plan for Star Wars episodes 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah, it's going to be about the Wills.
Yeah,
a midi-chlorian
it's more
trilogy.
It's more intense midi-chlorians, so worse. So short version of a short summary. George Lucas was like, hey, if I was going to do episode 7, it would be like microbacterial, where it's not just midichlorians, it's something below midichlorians, which is the Wills, which was like the first draft of Star Wars. It was like Luke Skywalker.
The Adventures of Luke Skywalker is told in the Journals of the Wills.
Volume 1. Yeah. So the Wills are the things that
the next time anyone
the Force.
Next time anyone bitches about Last Jedi, just think about what we could have got.
I'll stand by Last Jedi. I like that movie.
No, I like it a lot too.
Yeah.
I think it's
I
not
appreciate that we both. It may be less interesting, but it sure makes the show easier on us. We're like, hey, we both like the same thing. Isn't that good?
back when we used to have to argue about everything. The producers were like, you should have opposing
You
viewpoints.
said Jesse Eisenberg was a good Lex Luthor.
I still stand by that.
You're so wrong.
See, there you go.
You're,
I didn't
my
say he was a
God.
great Lex Luthor. I said he was good. I liked the weird, crazy edge that he brought to it.
So yeah, the wills were apparently going to be George Lucas's thing, and that's wrong and dumb. A lot of DC movie news this week. Oh man, is there a lot of DC movie news this week? So the Flash movie that may or may not be a Flashpoint movie apparently isn't a Flashpoint movie.
Oh, so they're not going to they have a natural reset button to fix everything they've done wrong sitting right in front of them, and they're not going to push it.
Apparently.
Oh, how does that make you feel? Put the Coors Light back down. You're doing the show. Settle down.
Whatever. They've boned this universe so hard. I don't even care anymore.
But they have a natural out with a Flashpoint story.
They 100% have it. We did that book, right?
We did do that. Yeah, because he gets on the cosmic treadmill.
I love the cosmic treadmill. I love that there's a treadmill.
He just runs in place and changes time.
Yeah, so I guess they're going to
Yeah, because there's like multiple flashes.
because the guy that they've brought in, I forget his name now, who is now going to be kind of running the DC movie universe, he's basically like, yeah, we're going to scrap a bunch of this crap and just stick to what we already announced and what we're going to work on. And yeah, apparently the Flash movie is going to be lighter in tone compared to the like Zack Snyder version of everything, which was bad. I tried to say fine, I couldn't do it.
It's easy. You form a sound. Fine.
Yeah, it's not for me. But yeah, so they're going to take elements from Flashpoint, but not do Flashpoint, and have it be lighter in tone. Also, DC movie news: Matt Reeves, director of the last two Planet of the Apes movies, good flicks if you haven't seen them. You haven't. They're good. Watch them.
No, I haven't seen them, but you've told me they're good. Woody Harrelson's in them. He's bald.
Yeah, okay, he's one of the weaker parts. But yeah, good flicks. Directing the next Batman movie. Apparently the next Batman movie is going to be focusing on a younger Batman, but still being in canon with this DC extended universe. The DCU.
So, like
Get a better name.
By younger Batman.
So not Affleck, because I mean,
Maybe we get Death in the Family?
we haven't even done. Kudos to you, sir. You referenced a Batman book.
Thank you.
That's not a very good series. It's 4 issues. They're fine.
But it's the death of Robin.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen hints of that, of the death of Jason Todd. But yeah, maybe don't like
Best
that.
ass in the DC universe.
No, that's Dick. Dick has the best
Oh,
ass.
sorry. My bad.
Jason just is an ass.
Jason is dead.
Yeah, he came back in around 2005.
Out of a Lazarus pit.
2005 was the series to bring people back. Bucky was back. Jason was back. 2005 was all about resurrecting dead
Didn't he come out of a
sidekicks.
Lazarus pit in Cacophony?
Not Cacophony. He did come out of a Lazarus pit in one of the variations of Jason's resurrection. One of them is Lazarus pit. One of them is Superboy punched reality really hard.
Oh. Isn't there a Lazarus pit in Cacophony?
Not that I remember.
Or is it the other? What was the other Kevin Smith Batman?
Winding Gyre?
It might be in that.
I don't remember.
I still stand by. I wish that he was able to finish that trilogy off.
Yeah, he still has the opportunity. It's been, if it's anyone's fault, it's his own. It's been presented to him.
I mean, Batman's just there with his rich island-owning fiance
Who's dead.
dead,
Yeah.
slit open.
Yeah, because Kevin Smith writes women fantastically. He likes to give them AIDS and makes them child prostitutes and kill them multiple times.
So you're not doing anything to help, like, encourage him to ever be on the show.
He's not going to be he's not going to be on the show. B, he does a bad job writing women. But cool. So yeah, so young Batman, that's potentially a thing. Stan Lee, my God. So we did our story last week, and then
Stan Lee
the
saga
day
continues.
next. Yeah. So Kia Morgan, guy who put a like 45-second video like 2 weeks back. He's like, he's my only representative, my only business partner. Everyone else is a big old jackass.
Yeah.
That business partner, Stan, has now filed a restraining order against, and the LAPD are doing an investigation into elder abuse.
Yeah, I get a feeling that this is starting to not go well for the people that are around Stan that are not
Yeah,
doing
so the
well
guy
by
who
him.
was arrested, Kia Morgan, I don't know if he posted bail or not. It was the $20,000 bail. Yeah, so now there's a restraining order against him. He seems like the worst.
Okay.
Also, this guy, Donny Cates. Let's build him up because he is one of the best out there right now. The Thanos ongoing series that happened relatively recently called Thanos Wins. The Zoom fell over.
It went Zoom.
Oh, good. It's still recording. My God, we've gone so long on the news. I just looked at the time code. Yeah, the Thanos ongoing fantastic series sold out basically every time it happened. There's going to be another one-shot, Thanos Legacy. This is going to be connected to the Infinity Wars storyline, so I imagine people are going to be picking that up. All I really have to say on that, just pre-order it because that book sold like hotcakes before.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to show you some photos now, so, with the magic of editing, you'll never know. There's an image of Wonder Woman.
Oh, yes. Oh, are you going to show me the image of Chris Pine?
I was going to show you the image of Chris Pine. He's back, baby. Chris Pine is back in Wonder Woman 2.
1984.
Yeah, so Chris Pine is back, or is he? I mean, he's definitely in the movie. The actor is, but...
Maybe she's like having a hallucination. Maybe she's like having a vision of him. Maybe it's a clone.
So yeah, Chris Pine's back. Is it Chris Pine's character, Steve Trevor? Is it Martian Manhunter? I hope it's Martian Manhunter.
I do like Martian Manhunter. He was in our reading this week.
No?
There's a green lizard guy with the Inhumans.
You're talking about, what's his name? It's not Karnak. It is the green one I got there.
The green one. Thanks. I thought it was Martian Manhunter. I was like, oh, look, Martian Manhunter. Apparently, I was wrong.
Do you remember that great scene when we did New Frontier like a year and a half ago?
That was a long time ago, but yes.
With that great scene where Batman's like, I spent like $3 million to buy a piece of kryptonite to take out the alien. All I need for you is 23 cents and a book of matches.
That was good.
That's so good. That was such a good scene, yeah. There were some Aquaman photos released this week. It looks really interesting. Aquaman, Jason Momoa looks great. It was on EW. It was like, look at Aquaman. Like, oh my god, Aquaman looks great. Mira looks great. Oh look, and Nicole Kidman. I felt bad. I was like, I don't see her as I see her as Nicole Kidman.
Does she look great still? Does she look like...
She looks like Nicole Kidman.
So, yeah, attractive Australian.
Yeah.
Great actress.
But not in that movie Australia. That's a bad movie.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, Hugh Jackman doused himself like in a bucket of water shirtless, so had that going for it.
If that's what you remember about that movie, then
that is literally what I remember about that movie. Hugh Jackman's just like, hey, we're going down under, mate. Look at my abs.
Well, he is Australian.
And I remember him being at the Oscars talking about like people doing accents who are nominated. He's like, Hugh Jackman, Australian, for the movie Australia, not nominated. He did that song. He's like, I am Wolverine.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. Was that like 2009?
Yes.
Yeah. I think Ben Schwartz co-wrote that.
Because it was at the time, because he was playing Jean Valjean at the time. It was like a take on the...
No, that was way before that.
Oh, but it still is kind of like a take on the...
I remember the Reader. I didn't have time to see The Reader. Whatever.
Okay.
Let's remember Oscars from 9 years ago.
Anyway, we didn't even do an Oscars episode this year.
Have we done one before?
Yeah, I think we did one way back.
We might have. I don't remember.
Know. Anyway.
Yeah, so I was like, yay, Aquaman. Yay, Mira. Yay, Nicole Kidman. You're in that movie too.
You're so hard to please.
Good news. The story that we do most months.
Oh, the comics sales report?
Top 10 comics. We don't have a theme for this one for some reason, even though we do it pretty regularly.
That's a very passive-aggressive way of asking for a top 10 sales theme.
It's true, though. We usually do it. All right, top 10 books.
Number 10.
Walking Dead, number 179. More than 15 years in, there's still a top 10 book.
Oh, good
for
them.
For an indie book. I mean, it's funny saying, indie for Walking Dead, but, is what it is.
Number 9.
Man of Steel, number 1, the Brian Michael Bendis, BMB. Yeah, you know me. I guess this is the Bendis news this week. I'm not going to do the theme, but there he is.
Gabbing about Bendis. Number 8.
Yeah. So, much like the John Byrne thing, Man of Steel is reinventing Superman, so yay! Number 8, Justice League No Justice, number 1. It was a 4-part mini. Scott Snyder was a co-writer on it. It was good. End of news, I guess, on it.
Number 7.
Batman 46. Tom King, guy who for some reason follows me on Twitter. I know that like if you go outside like the regular world, like if you like drop comic people's names, it's like who are those people? Some of my favorite creatives of all time follow me on Twitter, so I try to not tweet terrible things because I'm like famous people follow me.
Look
Tom
at
King
you
being
go.
one of them. So
I've
Batman
had famous
46.
people tweet at me. Does that count for anything?
Nope.
Number 6.
In a very weird shift, which I was surprised to see because usually you see it the other way. Batman 46 was the one before. Batman 47. So
Okay.
sales went up. We're getting prepped for the wedding of Batman and Catwoman. I think that's why the sales went up.
Oh, is he marrying Catwoman?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The character, like Batman and Catwoman are getting married, but Bruce and Selena are not.
I don't follow.
That's
There's more than
fine.
one cat. Number 5.
Black Panther number 1, Ta-Nehisi Coates did another number 1 for his ongoing series. It's really good. It's Black Panther in space. You know my feelings on space. I enjoy it.
Are you joining the Space Force? Did I just ruin space for you?
A little bit.
Number 4.
Jason Aaron and Ed McGuinness says Avengers number 1 reads like a modern classic. I like what they're doing.
Number
It's a really good book. I don't know.
I
what
thought
to
you were
tell ya.
okay. Oh, there you go. Number 3.
Doomsday Clock number 5, the sequel to Watchmen. Still solid, still good.
Still good Alan Moore stuff.
Oh, it's Jeff Johns. Still good Johns.
Yeah, we love a good Johns.
He is, speaking of Twitter, he is responsible for my least favorite day on Twitter.
What? Well, you can't just leave it at that.
This was, I must have mentioned a long while back. Like I tweeted about what they call it, DC like Universe one shot, whatever. It was like a 25-cent book, and everyone bought it. It did crazy numbers. I was like, oh my god, this is one of my favorite things of all time. And Jeff Johns like quote tweeted it. He's like, oh my god, thanks so much. And I remember looking at my phone. I'm like, oh, that's nice. Jeff Johns said a thing, and I was like very new to Twitter. And then my phone exploded for the next 3 hours. I'm like, no, turn off notifications. This is the worst.
That's the best.
It was the worst.
Number 2.
Venom number 1. Venom has been dumb and boring for a long time, and the new series is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Donny Cates, the guy who kind of like breathed life into Thanos, and he just had a Doctor Strange run. He's a writer to watch. So yeah, his work on Venom number 1 deserved.
And the number 1 book for the month of May.
Selling over 400,000 copies at a $9.99 price point.
Wow.
Holy balls.
A lot of money there.
Yeah. Amazing Spider-Man number 800.
What was so special about it?
I mean, it's an anniversary issue. For Amazing Spider-Man number 700, Marvel didn't release any other books that week, which was, a novelty at the time. Like, if you're going to buy a Marvel book this week,
buy this one.
You literally only have one choice.
Yeah.
But for number 800, it was great. It's really, really solid. It was a good book. It was Norman Osborn and the Carnage symbiote together creating the Red Goblin. $9.99 price point, but it was a great book. What's funnier is, I guess not funnier, but this week, Amazing Spider-Man number 801 is out, which is Dan Slott has been on Amazing Spider-Man for 10 years now. He came in at the worst possible time. He came in like right after they're like, Peter Parker's marriage isn't a thing anymore because he sold it to the devil. It was dumb.
That's very Faustian of him.
It's a real crap story. For anyone who remembers, hey, I just triggered a bunch of people like, you remember One More Day? Yeah, it was bad. But the issue he put out this week, Amazing Spider-Man 801, his last issue is, for lack of a better term, it's beautiful. It's truly, truly gets to the core of Spider-Man. If what you think about the character, everything, it is Spider-Man.
Good.
Yeah, that's all I really have to say about it. It breaks your heart a little bit. It's dealing with the mostly one individual's perception of Spider-Man and him explaining it to someone else, and it hurts to read it so in a very touching way.
Like it hits on some emotional points.
Oh my god, yeah.
Well, that's
like,
good.
He talks. It's like, I'll spoil it a little bit, I guess, but it's a guy talking to like his kid like 10 years ago. Like Spider-Man like stopped a robbery that not that he was involved in, but he was there. So like the guy talks to Spider-Man. He's like, "Oh my god, like you were there for one of the most important days of my life. Like you made me quit smoking." And Spider-Man's like, "Thanks." And Spider-Man swings away, and this little kid, he's like, "What a crappy hero we just saw. Like, it's not Captain America. It's not Thor. It's not someone who's saving the world." And this guy's like, no, every single day Spider-Man saves someone's world. He saves someone's father. He saves someone's mother. He saves someone's daughter. He saves someone's uncle. Like, he saves uncles. He's like, yeah, Spider-Man saves uncles. And it hits so hard. It's a great issue. I just spoiled the entire thing, but buy the issue, I guess.
There you go. So, because it'll do better justice than you just did it.
Yeah, I'm not a storyteller.
No, not at all.
But doesn't that sound good?
It does sound good, yeah.
It's a great issue. So yeah, Dan Slott's run is all done. Spider-Man 800 sold over 400,000. Most months, or at least recently, we've been doing stuff for like, if 2 books crack 100,000, I'm like, oh boy, 2 of them, but this one did 400K.
All right.
At a $9.99 price point. So overall, General Comics units were down 9% from May of last year, but dollar-wise, oh, funny. They were up 9%. So units down 9, dollars up 9. Didn't see it until I read it.
Don't know if that really equates to being an equivalent month, though.
I think it's the Spider-Man. It was the $9.99 price point. Amazing Spider-Man 800 really did it. But
Yeah.
the overall market was up 2% compared to May of last year. So for most months, I'm like, oh my god, comics are dead. This was a positive one.
Comics are only mostly dead.
There you keep on sputtering out. Good
You
job, comics.
You didn't pick up on the Miracle Max reference.
Sorry.
Princess Bride?
For a sputter out. I'm doing Butthole Surfers
Have you seen Princess Bride?
1,000,000 times.
Okay, then you didn't pick up on that he's only mostly dead?
I'm your wife. I love Carol Kane.
Yeah. Witch! Liar!
That's such a good scene. I think that's my favorite scene.
Yeah, it's probably one of the better scenes of the whole thing.
Whatever.
Prince Humperdinck.
We're not a Princess Bride show.
I do love the prince. As you wish.
Yeah, I guess that's the news for this week. Man, we were on the news for a while.
Yeah,
Whatever.
we were.
We talked. It was mostly that Picard thing. It pissed me off.
Oh, wow, that was a long news segment.
So sports. We're doing sports. From there, we did Jared's sports reports. I almost skipped it on accident. Sports.
He's running down the middle by the 50. He's at the 30. Bare-chested. The guy is drunk, but there he goes. Oh, and they tackle him at the 40-yard line.
It's time for another Jared Sports Report.
Yeah, there's not really a whole lot to talk about. It's baseball season.
Summer games for the Celtics were announced.
I wasn't really paying attention to that. World Cup is underway. You got the World Cup going on.
We got the 3 games. We're going to get 3 games in July.
All right.
Yeah.
But they're not going to be like, they're going to be the younger players. They're not going to be the good players.
No. They're like, we can't have anyone be injured.
Yeah. They opened up the new Red Auerbach Center, though. It's really pretty. Look at some pictures of that. World Cup is underway. They're playing in pool play right now. Of course, the United States is not in it because we suck at soccer for the most part.
Football.
Football. F-U-T-B-O-L. What else? Oh, well, this actually is kind of big news. The next World Cup will be taking place in
Jersey, baby.
Jersey, New England.
Oh, we're going Jersey.
Canada, Mexico. I mean, if we're still friends in the future, I don't know. So you got the World Cup coming to the United States next time around.
Not just the United States.
Canada,
New Jersey.
That's part of the United States. Yeah, you're right.
So probably the Meadowlands.
It'll probably be the Meadowlands. Gillette Stadium will host some games. I believe all of the quarterfinal games are going to be in the States, and I think they're going to be in the Northeast region. They might be at Gillette Stadium, in fact.
You know my New Jersey feelings.
You love Jersey.
I love Jersey.
You're wearing a Hoagie Haven shirt right now.
I'm literally wearing a shirt from New Jersey.
You really are. Yeah, that's really about it. It's kind of
How
a
dare you
slow...
speak of Hoagie? You've never been there. You've never experienced a fat lady, a heart stop. These are sandwich names.
Oh.
I forget the rest of them, so... I got 2 in at least.
Dial them up, Princeton, New Jersey, Hoagie Haven.
Best sandwiches in the U.S., I promise.
How many sandwiches have you had across the United States? How many sandwiches have you had west of the Mississippi?
Chicago and Seattle.
Okay. How many have you had, like California, New Mexico, Colorado?
I've never been to those places, but I promise
what about a
Hoagie
Hawaiian
Haven's
sandwich?
the best.
All right. I'll take your word for it.
Man.
There's not a lot. We go from Jared Sports Reports to I think a very what?
We can take a Jersey trip. I will happily show you the best in New Jersey.
I would love that. We could do a whole episode on
Holy shit, let's do it.
Zach and Jerry go to New Jersey.
Let's
have
take a long weekend. I'll do it. I'd love oh my god. Any excuse to go to New Jersey I take.
I think you're one of the few people in this country that's like begging to go to New Jersey. Anyway, we go from Jared Sports Reports to a construction update.
Can you dig it?
What's the state of the construction update?
See you later, new Doug.
It's fine. They're paving. The sidewalks are getting better.
Yeah, they're doing brick laid sidewalks.
Yeah, it's good. Looks good. Wider sidewalks now, so that's a positive.
Yeah, the paving looks like it's going well.
Who knows how parking is going to work after that, but yeah, sidewalks are wider.
They'll get it figured out. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's your construction update.
And from there we go on to my all-time favorite Fantastic Four story in Jared's Reading Corner.
Don't worry, it doesn't involve the friggin' Plant Man.
I love Plant Man.
You would.
It's Jared's Reading Corner.
You know what I did this week? Honest to God, I was looking up Plant Man appearances. I'm like, do I fuck with him? Do I just get more Plant Man appearances? Although, you know what? Like, you're making a face at me right now. There are a few episodes that I ended up adding in and cutting some stuff that are specifically designed for you.
Really?
They're
designed to
terrible.
make me... Oh, Jesus. I was like hoping, they designed to like make me happy and enjoy myself. Nope.
No, they're awful. I did stuff like...
I feel like that guy in Mystery Science Theater 3000. You're just sending me this terrible shit to read.
No, I found stuff like, how can I incorporate sports into comics? Oh boy, every time it's happened, it's been the worst. So we're going to do stuff like Charles Barkley versus Godzilla and NFL Super Pro. Yeah, no, don't say ooh. It's not good.
I said,
You got excited for half a second. If you're
going to do a sporting one, why don't you give me like Superman Ali?
Because that's good. Neil Adams.
Screw you. Screw you and everything about you and anyone who looks like you.
White guys with beards? Yeah, they're rare.
Oh, damn. I just screwed myself yet again. Anyway.
Yeah, get excited for NFL Super Pro.
I am excited for that now.
Don't be.
Well, that's because you don't like sports ball. Maybe you're wrong
right.
target demographic.
You're right. It's not me. It's not the book. It's me.
Yeah, it's not you. It's not the book. It's you.
Yeah, you're right.
I know. I am right. It's not you. It's me thing, right?
No, it's a terrible book.
Well, whatever.
I got it for you.
Shut your damn mouth and let's talk about Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four 57?
Let me open up the omnibus. Omnibus.
57, baby. 57, 58, 59, and 60. This is a 4-part story that might sound partially familiar to you because this was part of the plot of the Fantastic Four movie from 2007.
Enter Doctor Doom.
Yeah, so I don't want to spoil this one overly because mostly I recommend reading it because I think it's my favorite Fantastic Four story. The short version is Doctor Doom steals the power cosmic, and we saw that in that terrible movie that mashed up the 2 best Fantastic Four stories, and it took a big old dump on them. Also had Fantastic Four Annual
also being
number
the
3.
best Fantastic Four movie ever.
Yeah, probably. But I mean, that movie had the wedding of Reed and Sue. It had the Galactus trilogy, and it had the Doom Silver Surfer saga. The movie has references to the books, but oh my god, it ruins them. Like, people more recently have talked about, like, Batman v Superman ruined Dark Knight Returns and the death of Superman. I'm like, yeah, that's bad, but Rise of the Silver Surfer took all of the good Fantastic Four and really shit on it. You've read those now, except for the wedding.
Yeah, I haven't read the wedding.
Have we done the wedding?
No, we haven't done the wedding. This happens not too long after the wedding.
Yeah.
You showed me the panel of Jack and Stan trying to get into the wedding. I liked it.
It was a great one, yeah.
No, I thought
we're doing a wedding next week.
This was actually really an enjoyable read. It was one of the ones that I kind of.
So I said it's my favorite of all time. You're like, surprisingly good.
Oh, well, considering what you made me read last week.
The Plants Man, Strange Tales, baby.
Plant Man,
Strange Tales for life.
But no, we get a nice kind of mix of villains here. I didn't understand some of the Inhuman stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the problem with reading an ongoing is sometimes things get referenced. Because Jack was always a big component of trying to pump the Inhumans up, and no one gave a shit.
Because he just wanted to draw a Black Bolt, making an O face and destroying a community.
Jack was always trying to get the Inhumans, and then there was an ongoing Inhumans. They did it for like in 2 issues before he quit. Like, okay, Jack, you can have an Inhumans book. 2 issues, and he's like, yeah, you know what? I quit. I'm going to DC. Yeah. And then the book died immediately. It wasn't good anyway.
As did the TV show.
Yeah.
No, I like the art. I like the storytelling. It's a really nice, good, concise arc. You kind of get a feel for where it's going. I'm not going to say it's predictable per se, but you can kind of tell that Doctor Doom is really up to no good, and really like playing around with the power cosmic and what he can do with it to kind of beat the Fantastic Four.
I love it. It's so great. I mean,
but he's also such a narcissistic villain, Doctor Doom, that like multiple times he falls into every supervillain trope. You know what? I've beat you, and that's good enough. Trope.
He's a real Boy Scout.
Well, not in this book.
Part of Troop 207.
So, yeah, Troop 4.
Fantastic.
Yes, but that kind of archetypal...
Yes, I mean, the short version, like...
I'm going to tell you my evil plan, and I'm going to beat you, but I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to beat you multiple times and not finish you off.
The Silver Surfer, we've done one story with him before, and this is probably his second biggest story. We did the Galactus trilogy, which the Silver Surfer turns against Galactus because he gets a sandwich from Alicia Masters. So, yay, sandwich. And then after the whole I ate a sandwich thing, Galactus puts a barrier around the Earth that the Silver Surfer can't escape from. So he's now stuck on Earth, and he goes to the Microverse, which is probably my favorite Jack Kirby art of all time. Look it up if you haven't. Silver Surfer in the Microverse. But then in this one, the Silver Surfer's like, oh man, I'm stuck on Earth. What am I going to do? I guess I'll trust this guy, Dr. Doom.
Well, he sent a royal decree at him, so it was a royal summons.
Yeah, and then Dr. Doom's like, I'll be your friend. How's your surfboard work? How's your big old space surfboard work? I'm Dr. Doom.
You sound like Dr. Demento.
Don't. That's why my Doom voice is like,
Can I just...
I like space surfboards. I'm gonna ride it. You're okay with that?
Okay. So anyway, enough of that. All right.
Okay, would that not be fantastic? Like, because you read comics and the kind of voices you put on it kind of go in your own thing. Like, whenever I read Batman as Kevin Conroy. But wouldn't it be so great if Dr. Doom was just like, I speak in the third person. I'm Dr. Doom.
You're really proud of yourself right now, aren't you?
I think it's funny.
That Coors Light is hitting you hard.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. What is that? Like 4%?
I think it's 5. Woo! 4.6, 4.8. Anyway, it doesn't say on the can.
I went to look at. You knew ahead. You're like, I've checked. Doesn't? Now you're looking.
Not. Maybe it's supposed to.
I think legally it is. What do I know?
Nope. Just the 355 milliliters.
I'm Dr. Doom.
What the?
I speak in the third person. I'm gonna ride your surfboard.
Are you done?
The power cosmic.
Anyway, I'd just like to point out Sue Richards, formerly Sue Storm.
It's the worst.
She sucks. Like, she does very little but give exposition. For instance, oh, Reed, how can we ever defeat an enemy who has the power of the Sandman? Don't worry, darling. We've done it before and we'll do it again.
Yeah, the Sandman. Who cares?
Or how about this? Reed's wrapped up in this cord, and he goes, but how? By whom? At least she has good grammar.
Yeah, I mean, Sue in the 60s isn't great. She is 100% the girl.
Also, can we talk about this? They were supposed to have a date night, Reed and Sue. Remember? We planned to stay home tonight and have a weenie roast in the garden. It's real romantic. That Reed is real. He's a real Romeo Casanova.
I'd like to go back to the 2007 Rise of the Silver Surfer movie where they're talking to Reed Richards. They're like, so you can stretch. Can everything stretch? I'm Dr. Do.
Oh my God.
No, he wasn't the one doing that because
I like in this one that the Human Torch is actually kind of competent.
So not Strange Tales?
Yeah. He kind of
Strange Tales is alternate universe.
Like, he knows what he's doing. He's not like terrible.
Yeah.
He's not the worst.
But yeah, I mean, so the general gist of the story is Dr. Do. I'm Dr. Doom.
I'm gonna slap the taste out of your damn mouth.
He gets the power cosmic. He gets to ride around to the Silver Surfer surfboard, and the Fantastic Four have to stop him. That's kind of the crux of these 4 issues, and it's really damn good. As much, Sue does not have anything to do. Sue is the woman, which is very indicative of the time. I mean, if you read current Fantastic Four, Sue is the most powerful member. But at the time, say what you want about Stan. Like, I've literally put it on the internet. Like, this is the second best comic run of all time after Claremont on not Fantastic Four, X-Men, not Claremont's Fantastic Four. That's meh. You made a face like you knew what I was talking about.
No, I had no idea. I'm just trying to. Some of the Inhuman stuff, I didn't understand why they were in the something zone, not the Phantom Zone, but
when they're in the mountains or something.
Yes.
Yeah, they're like, this is the only place where we have air that works for Inhumans.
But the Inhumans show up anyway.
There.
Yeah.
Stay there forever. Never go on TV. It's a personal choice.
Yes.
I mean, without spoiling the entire story, I mean, I think this is the height of Stan and Jack, is this story. I mean, and they are the creative team of comics for anyone else that you point to. And I've heard stuff like some people don't seem to be super on board for this one, and I've never really understood why not. For me, this is the height, like I just said, of Stan and Jack, and the two of them working together, like firing on all cylinders. The art that Jack brings to it, like he always has had a love for the Silver Surfer. He's always had a love for the Inhumans. He's always had a love for Dr. Doom. And being able to bring all those elements together in one story, it's insane. And you feel, it's comics, so you know that Dr. Doom isn't going to win.
Yeah.
But the way that it's set up, you feel stakes. Like,
there's a little something to it. Like they might kill one of the Fantastic Four.
Like, Dr. Doom has more than just like his regular, like, I'm a magician in a suit of armor. Like, he has
powers, like legitimate powers.
Yeah.
And he kicks the Fantastic Four's ass, not just like once, but several times.
It's big. It's so big. I love this story. I highly, highly recommend it. This is definitely like top 10 comics, like specific arcs for me are these 4 issues. It's so good. And I mean, I know I just gave it to you, but like I was, reading the Fantastic Four, particularly like through these omnibuses, like, I'm going back in time and I'm going to like read all this stuff because, I like the concept and all that crap.
You've read these several times too.
But I remember when I got to these 4 issues, I was like, this is one of the best stories I've ever read. It really blows my mind how, like, I didn't know that it was coming, and when it did, I was like, oh my god, like, yeah, this is why the Fantastic Four works, because this series, these 4 issues, they are some of the best. So yeah, so 57, 58, 59, 60.
The art was great. The story was great. The whole concept was great. There were some things in there, some side pieces, like the Watcher, real dick. Real dick.
He always is.
Wow. I could totally go down there and help solve this problem.
Damn it, Uatu.
But you know what? I'm going to go watch The Birth of Another Civilization. And if I come back and they're still here, good on them. If not, oh well.
He goes away for a really long time. Like, the next time he comes back, I think, is the Fantastic Four, like, fighting alternate history where Nazis won, including, like, a plane that's a swastika. And, like, the Watcher shows up and, he doesn't say anything. He's just, like, raising his eyebrows. He's like, something. Maybe you should deal with this, a thing that's happening at a time. I'm Dr. Doom. Okay.
Yeah, but, thing. the whole piece of like the Watchers, like in
I should really show you that swastika.
There's some really good pieces of art here, like when you've got Doctor Doom swooping in on the silver surfboard with his cape flowing. That's really good.
Yeah, I mean this.
The different forms he's able to take with the the power cosmic.
I mean, for this highlights Jack so well.
But literally, there's only one page in the whole thing of the Watcher, and he's just gone. He's like, all right, well, you know what? I'm out.
And I hate this arc. Makes me hate that 2007 movie more than I would have before.
The movie itself?
Yeah, because you see like, oh, you're taking from this arc. We've done the 94 unreleased Roger Corman one. I mean, it was entertaining, like, it had good pacing, but at least it wasn't stealing and ruining stories. That movie steals 3 Fantastic Four stories.
I was just because as I was reading this, and I was thinking, wow, this is such a wealth of untapped story. Hear me out. How cool would this be? Avengers 4, everything wraps up, and the post-credit scene is just the Silver Surfer flying through space.
Well, even
that's it, and then
I would love it. I would love that. I would love
but if that was a secret if that like happened, but nobody saw it coming, because it was like they don't have the rights to the Fantastic Four, or they're not going to do it. They can't do it because they don't have these properties. But secretly somehow they've acquired the ability to have these properties, and at the end of. Because this is supposed to be the end of the Avengers arc. This is it for the Avengers.
Yeah, I mean, the Fantastic Four, if you get the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, we didn't even talk about that story where Comcast might buy Fox, so, yeah.
But anyway, just think about how cool that would be if the post-credit scene, because they have post-credit, I mean, there's going to be a post-credit scene. What do you set up next? You set up the Fantastic Four universe, and you've set yourself up for another 10 to 15 years. Because now you can do a good Human Torch movie. You can do the Fantastic Four. You can do a better, more accurate origin movie.
If
throwing the Silver Surfer right out there.
Unfortunately, Fantastic Four has kind of been like the good stories have already been ruined because of the Fox movies.
They can fix it.
They could. I mean, if I were to do a Fantastic Four movie, I wouldn't touch the origin because the origin is bad. I would just
maybe not the origin.
Like you could do that like you could explain them within dialogue like, oh, cosmic ray is like radiation did it to us, and then just don't show it. Like you can do that in dialogue.
Okay, think about this. I don't think you would show Galactus yet. Because you have to have Galactus. You could either do it with...
Should he be a big cloud?
No.
No, he shouldn't be a big cloud, should he?
So, wow. So you have one of two options.
What a bad movie.
Doctor Doom, I don't think as many people would get.
I think Doctor Doom is one of the biggest Marvel villains.
Here are your two...
I think people know Doom more than they know the Fantastic Four.
Here are your two things. You could have whatever the name of the country is, Latveria.
Yeah.
So you could have you could pan down to like this corridor in the castle in Latveria, and then just walking up to a window, you see the green cape and the hood from behind, and he doesn't even have to turn around, or maybe he just turns around enough that you see his mask.
So basically, the Thanos reveal from Avengers. That's what you're going for.
But that's what you would have.
Or in the 2005 Fantastic Four movie, they even had we're shipping him back to his home country, and that was mid credit or the end of the movie. I don't remember. I haven't seen the movie in a long ass time. Where they show he's on a barge back to Latveria.
So you could do with the Doctor, maybe instead of him turning, you hear these footsteps, you see this green cape walk by, it pans up to a table where you have his mask, and all you see is the mask, and he reaches down and he picks it up, and that's it. That could be one way you could introduce the Fantastic Four.
Well, I mean, Doctor Doom, we haven't done. He has a couple of origins. One of them is that the reason that he has the Doctor Doom mask is because he's hyper vain, and there's a couple. So one of them, and this has been retconned multiple times. One of them is he wears the mask because he's I'm hideous, and he just says he's the prettiest man in the world, but he has one scar blemish on his face, so he's I'm so vain, I have to wear this. There's another one where the Doctor Doom suit was being created and he put it on too fast, so he scarred himself. There's another where he's I don't have a nose.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's multiple Doctor Doom. I really like the one where he's I'm so hideous, but then they take off the mask and he's super pretty, but it just has a tiny scar on his cheek.
So you're so vain.
I think that's my personal favorite, but
But then the other thing, if you really want to start to explore the Marvel cosmic universe, and you could still maybe find a way to tie in Guardians. I don't know if there's any Guardians But the other piece you could do, all right, because we're supposed to get more Doctor Strange movies. So one of two ways you could have the Silver Surfer.
I love the two, like when Doctor Strange and Doom team up. Those are great books. I always love when the two of them are together.
So you could do one of two things. You could be just in space, panning across space, looking or waiting. So maybe what you could do here, because I feel that it's time to start exploring the Fantastic Four in the movies. You either are panning across space and it's like a vast look at space, and then you have a planet, and the planet just dissolves.
Is it Counter Earth?
I don't
just say yes.
It's Counter Earth.
I just want you to say it's Counter Earth.
It's Counter Earth, and it dissolves.
Yes, it's Counter
and it
Earth.
just explodes, right?
It's Counter Earth.
And coming out of the explosion is just the Silver Surfer.
Oh God, yes.
Now, how's that for?
I'd want that. Yeah, you got to set him up like with his badness, but don't feed him a sandwich to make him turn good because that's the best.
Yeah.
And horse, he gets fed a sandwich,
So you don't have,
and he just absorbs. He's like, I appreciate those calories.
or so that happens. Okay, you ready for this? That happens. He flies by, and then it goes black, and then you have the eyes open of Doctor Strange because he's been using his Master of the Mystic Arts to see things throughout the universe. Because he's starting to look for other cosmic.
Oh, but what if he goes big? Like you don't see the mouth, you just see the eyes, and he just goes Norrin Rad. Gotta lose my mind.
Because now, like, my thought would be for him, he obviously Thanos was an issue, and now he's starting to as.
Galactus is a bigger threat than,
But hear me out. Hear me out. This is why he's starting to look out. Doctor Strange is starting to reach out across the universe to identify other threats to Earth, and he sees the Silver Surfer.
I got some.
How's that?
So we've had 3 consecutive weeks of Fantastic Four. One of them was
This
terrible.
is the end of our 3 for 4.
Yeah. Look, I have a very thematically prepped episode for next week.
Okay.
And then it's 4th of July, so I can't really do much. And then it's Ant-Man. So I got things. What is your impression of Fantastic Four now that you have done the origin, something terrible, and the best ever? Or at least in my opinion.
Having not read recent Fantastic Four, I don't think I could give you should go out and be reading Fantastic Four right now. But for the classics, for the stuff I've read, because I read the Galactus stuff, I read the Silver Surfer stuff, I've read now the Doctor Doom. I
mean, you didn't read number 5. You haven't got the origin of Also, he has a time platform. It's literally just a square on the floor. He's like, time travel.
Doesn't sound too dissimilar to a cosmic treadmill, to be honest. Less moving parts. I think the Fantastic Four they're the sci-fi, the real sci-fi branch of this fantasy world. They're not, the more I read them, the more I told myself you have to maintain an open mind that this is not, you can't go in. I think I'm going to paraphrase around a little bit, but Roger Ebert, people used to say, why would you give such a bad movie such a good review? He goes, well, I went to that movie to see this kind of movie. When I go to a Star Wars movie, I want to see things in space. I want to see things blowing up. When I go to an Indiana Jones movie, I want to see a globe hopping movie. So you have to put the context into it. And the more I read that, the more I was like, you cannot look at these guys are not Batman or Superman or Spider-Man or Iron Man or Wonder Woman. This is the sci-fi branch.
That's why I love it. I love the I always said it
it's out there. Show. It's very ethereal. It's very pushes the realms of. It's much easier, I think, sometimes to have a suspension of disbelief.
I like looking at
because
Reed as Space Indiana Jones. He's Space Indiana Jones.
Yes, he is.
Also, maybe the next movie is Space Indiana Jones.
But you've got to look at it from a standpoint of what you're getting yourself into. And the more I've read the Fantastic Four, the more I've gained an appreciation for the different types of superhero. It's not you're not reading a Fantastic Four book to get Green Arrow stuff. You read a Fantastic Four book to go into outer space and to push the little air bike that Ben rides. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
I love,
but there's something about it. It's watching
that's a Jack design. I love Ben's stupid ass bike.
But it's like watching a sumo wrestler ride a moped. It's it makes no sense. It's visually appealing though. For some reason, I don't understand.
I mean, the Fantastic Four are flawed. Reed is the worst. He's a guy who keeps in pretty good shape, who often ignores his perfect wife. He's not a great guy, especially in the 60s. Sue has the whole but Reed, what does it all mean? Yeah, we heard you the last 57 times. Johnny and Ben antagonize each other, and we have all these different permutations of relationships. And Fantastic Four is coming back with Dan Slott, who I just blew up for his Spider-Man run earlier in the show, and he did a fantastic Silver Surfer. I shouldn't say fantastic. That's the problem with talking about Marvel books, is all the good adjectives have been used. Like, it's amazing, it's spectacular, it's fantastic. But I mean, Fantastic Four are coming back. They're one of my all-time favorites. I can't wait. I love this to death. This is one of my favorite books.
There you go.
Yeah, Fantastic Four, man. They're back, baby. No Strange Tales, though.
No.
2-in-1 is back. I was originally
just when I was like, yeah, you know what? The Fantastic Four don't suck. You brought up Strange Tales, and now I'm thinking, and Plant Man is back. The Plant Man, Paste Pot Pete. So for all the great things they do, there's
we've done multiple Trapster episodes now. I love that we've done multiple Trapster episodes. That makes me so happy.
I'm glad it does.
Yeah, they're back. So pre-order Fantastic Four #1. Originally in our coverage, I wasn't even going to do these 4 that we talked about today, the 57 through 60. I was going to do a Marvel 2-in-1, but then I was reading Marvel 2-in-1 and I found a terrible Christmas episode that we're going to do. I was like, that one.
So you're going to do a Marvel 2-in-1, but instead we went 3 for 4.
Yeah, so we're doing 4 Fantastic Four ones, but it's a ways off.
Okay.
Yeah, boy, I think it's number 9.
You'd have been better off to set this up so we could have the fantastic 4th of July episodes.
It's Captain America, because that's what we do on 4th of July. We do Captain America episodes.
Yes.
Yeah, boy, though it's not for a long time because it's a Christmas one, but boy, is it terrible and offends everyone. It's so offensive. It's so offensive. As a guy who doesn't get offended.
You got offended?
No, I didn't, but I was like, man, if I
for all those pansies out there.
No, it's like, if you're not a white guy, bad, real bad.
Not good.
I can't wait to do, because normally, like, we're doing Christmas episodes. They're so fun and lighthearted. This one's like so offensive.
All right, there it is.
Marvel 2-in-1, baby. It's coming. The Thing and Ghost Rider.
Ugh.
Do you want to see one group of people call it a racial slur that doesn't even apply to them, so it's like doubly
Why
offensive?
do we have to? Okay, we were in a great place. Let's just move on. Let's go to letters to the editors.
You want to see Native Americans
letters to the editors.
Okay, we're doing that.
Lot of questions, #1. Damn few answers.
Here's another one of your letters to the editors.
Make it so.
If you could kill any comic character, who would you kill? I have a serious. Do you want to? I have a probably too serious answer for this.
Plant Man.
He makes trees box for some reason. He picks locks with leaves.
Again, I'm going to rehash. He is the world's worst criminal. First of all,
oh my god, we're doing more Plant Man episodes. You have dug yourself such a grave here.
No, not if I kill him. Plant Man.
He's still around, baby. Plant Man.
Yeah, Plant Man, 100% right now. Plant Man.
So you'd kill Plant Man.
Plant
okay,
Man.
I have a actual serious answer.
Yeah, I didn't have a serious answer. No, I'm serious actually.
I regret how serious my answer is.
Oh boy.
Magneto.
Interesting.
Only for an age point of view, Magneto is a Holocaust survivor, and there is a point in time in X-Men history where Magneto is turned into a baby and then he's re-aged to a regular man. It's weird. Let's just roll with that. So I mean, you can, for as far back as you could say, like, oh, Magneto is a Holocaust survivor, and then you could even go one step beyond, like, oh, he's a Holocaust survivor who got turned into a baby and then turned into a man. But there's still that whole, like, the X-Men were adults when he was turned into a baby. You can only roll with Magneto's age for so long, and I don't want his origin changed. You can only do the Holocaust survivor for so long, and you can also do the Holocaust survivor who was turned into a baby and then turned into a man for so long. So for the sake of not perverting Magneto, I think Magneto should die.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's probably a pretty serious answer, but
yeah, no,
his role as a Holocaust survivor is quintessential to that character. It's powerful and it's big and it's deep.
But you feel like
the
character has told the stories he needs to tell.
It's more of a point of, you can only say for so long, oh, he's a Holocaust survivor. Even if he was turned into a baby and then turned back into a man. Like, yes, that's a dumb story that I keep bringing up, but you can only do that for so long. And I don't think that would ever change his status. Like, if you kill Magneto, and Magneto has been I'm throwing this in air quotes, killed before, that doesn't change his role in the X-Men. He's still going to be like their greatest frenemy. He's the guy who...
Good use of the term frenemy.
Yeah, I mean, he was their first villain, and then he took over the school in the 80s, and then he was Zorn, and then he wasn't Zorn, and it's... Yeah, the Holocaust and Magneto are too tightly tied together to take that away from him, but we are, at this point, we're really kidding ourselves age-wise.
All right, well, that's...
I guess, yeah, that's what we have.
Yeah,
so.
are you going to mention again that Magneto turned into a baby and then back into an adult?
It's real weird.
If you like the show for the most part, go to patreon.com/editorsnotecomics, and for $1 a month, you can get this show for a whole day early. If you want to see how other hosts handle Zach, you can get the Buffy back issue been a whole week early. You just put out a new one recently.
That show's back, baby. Yeah, the one that's out this week. If you want to hear me, classic Zach,
retro Zach,
where I get angry. That's
super angry.
Oh boy, yeah, the one this week. Jeez, it's bad,
and then
it's real bad.
For $5 a month on the Patreon, you can make a Duke of the podcast.
Also, is
there more to...
Take your hat, hang it up. Hang it on. There's no hooks down here. Yeah, we're doing Buffy Season 12. The final season started this week, and we are going to be doing Patreon exclusive reviews, a non-spoiler/spoiler review. And the first one is going to be up yesterday. It's out or today if you're on Patreon. Depends on who you are.
All right. Is that if that's the $1 a month club?
Yeah, it's a Patreon exclusive.
The raffle's still going on. When's the drawing for the
end of the month?
The end of the month.
Yeah, the
great raffle.
It's like an $80 book if you toss a buck in, you got a good chance to win it.
Yeah, there you go. That's really about it, isn't it?
Yeah, you're on Twitter
at Junior Rich. I'll be on vacation this weekend though, so I'm excited about that. Yeah,
you're doing your annual
disc golf trip. No, so I'm excited. We're going to Connecticut. We'll spend one day in New York playing some disc golf courses. So
we're going to New York,
not near the city. We're staying at a state park in Connecticut, which is exciting. We got a cabin, so that's pretty cool. It's actually like if you ever want to go and stay anywhere, instead of renting a campground, stay at a state park. It's way cheaper, way cheaper. But we're leaving at 2 a.m. on Friday.
Brutal.
Yeah. So the show will be a week. Not a week. It'll be a day late next week.
Oh, will it?
Yeah.
This is my announcement of it too.
Yes. The show will be a day late next week. So that's it for this week.
Yeah, we'll be back next week. Since Batman is getting married, we're going back to another DC wedding, Superman's. And it turns out it's really mediocre.
Most weddings.
Yeah, it's not whatever. We'll talk about it next week. Superman's wedding.
So wait a minute.
Wedding.
Did Superman get to escort his mother in, or is that too soon?
I mean, she's there.
Not his real mom.
Oh, excuse you. His real mom raised him. How dare you?
Not his alien mother.
From his point of view, his alien mother would be Martha.
Why would you say her name?
I'm out of here.